I believe I am live now on all platforms. Let's see, let's open up Clip Studio Paint. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream by yours truly, Aziz Draws. Going to continue my line art process. We'll do left here. I'll probably start with Dominic, the Rhino Ranger on the right. And then try to do whatever we can today with RJ afterwards. At least until about like 5:15, 5:20ish. That's probably when I'm gonna head out. So we'll see. Love your work. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate you. And thank you for joining the stream. All right, let's make sure this tablet is functioning. What's up, Sabs? I might just be a smidge away from the mic. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Good, good. Nothing much. I'm just working on my next Power Rangers piece. Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Uh, what what is happening on Raw? What's going on over there? Hmm. Oh, they dropped it again to 2 hours. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, because I remember the last time they did that, I think it was like 24, 25. They were like, yeah, we're gonna reduce it to 2 hours, and then people immediately were like, yeah, this doesn't work. There's just not enough time, which is funny to think about. Hmm. Based off of the reactions I saw, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I heard they were feuding. Hmm. Yeah, he's been tweening, right? Hmm. Oh. I like that. I like that movie. Very very good visual effects. Oh. Um, is it is it do we gotta worry about anything? Mm. Okay, okay. That's her favorite? Interesting. Hmm. Um, it's either it's either Raimi 2 or Into the Spider-Verse. It's one of those two movies that I think if we're counting those, if we're counting animated. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. 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 So, uh, the immersive experience. I done seen clips of it, bro. It looks insane watching it in 4D, bro. Yeah, anytime they're on the waters, it's like, nah, bro. This looks crazy. Hmm. Um, that's good. Yeah, I think that, Thursday is probably when I'm gonna go watch Brand New Day. It was I found some like solid times for it and solid seats. I haven't ordered them yet because I'm a little stingy right now. I feel like I don't want to spend an extra $3, $5 to buy it online. I might just play the dangerous game of pulling up to the theater and going, hey, what seats y'all got? Hopefully not. There's there's one theater. Actually, there's a few theaters near me that have a lot of showtimes for Spider-Man. It's almost as if there's nothing else in theaters. That's what it feels like. Yeah, like I saw a showing for 12, then like 12:15, then 12:30, then 12:45, and then 1, and I was like, "Oh my goodness. They want everybody to see this movie." Hmm. Over where I'm at, we don't really got any crazy ones before people start spoiling, you know. Yeah, over in my area, we don't really got any of them like special theater experiences. The only thing we got is IMAX, and that's about it. I think the closest like 4DX experience is not even in state. It's like in Virginia or somewhere. Like it's I have to travel a few hours just to get there, and it's just like, huh. I guess we have an Alamo Draft House. That's nice. Get some food, some dining while you're watching a movie. Oh, that's yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. Um, my theater isn't it's IMAX, but it doesn't broadcast or it doesn't I said broadcast. It doesn't screen 70 millimeter, but the screen is meant to show 70 millimeter. Like essentially what happened was um like the theater is actually a museum theater, which is where IMAX originally was supposed to be anyway. Um and so we have the screen's ratio and size of IMAX. It's just that our projectors are not for film, it's for digital. So even though I don't get the actual 70 millimeter resolution, I still get like 4K. So I'm watching basically the proper IMAX ratio just in 4K. And honestly, you can't really tell the difference. Like it's high enough resolution to where it's like, okay, this is a pretty good experience. Like we're literally not even a brand. Like it's just a movie theater from a museum. Like it's a kids yeah, it's a kids museum and it just has its own like auditorium for IMAX for like documentaries and stuff like that. But every now and then they show like movies that are coming out. Um, like that's where I watched Infinity War, Endgame, like a lot of the Marvel movies I watched over there. But it's not its own like franchise or anything. It's just like literally just one. It's literally one theater room. So yeah. Um, but yeah. Still a really good experience. I watched Odyssey over there, and it was pretty dope. Completely filled. Like yeah, yeah. Um. Oh, I didn't. If in freaking IMAX, that sounds ridiculous. It's so funny seeing behind the scenes photos of the Odyssey because you just see them with these IMAX cameras, and IMAX cameras look like the most un. It's like the most unintuitive most cumbersome shape ever. Like it's like this looks like it's not fun to film with whatsoever. And it was so funny because the entire movie is filmed in IMAX, with like 70 millimeter. So, there's these moments where they have to like bring the camera really close for these super intimate like conversations, like, two characters talking to each other like face to face. But because the camera is so freaking large, they can't actually film them next to each other because the camera would literally be in the way. So they have to make these contraptions where they're literally putting mirrors in front of the actors so they can look at each other while the camera is just blocking their view. It's it's so weird. Um Blurry. Interesting. Um that is interesting. I know there was a lot of shots that were intentionally out of focus, like, but to hear but to hear that it was blurry even for shots that were in focus is a little strange. Maybe. Oh shoot, I just lost connection on my headphones. Hold on. Um, frick. Hold on, hold on. What I got to do? What I got to do with this 70 millimeter shit? Now hold on, hold on. I don't know anything. I want to keep it that way. Wait, 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 wait. Oh, frick. Oh, we in the stream. I'm on lunch break. What's up, Luffy? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yes. Heavens no. What do I look like to you? A dream con attendant? Don't answer that. I said don't answer that. Huh? I was at Green Con. Hmm. Much we got done? A little bit done. Hmm. Mm. No. Um, eh, for now. No. Um, I'm gonna use gradient mask for this. I probably. I'm still kind of like uh I'm still kind of like imagining the rendering process for this drawing. Gradient mask probably will be useful, but a part of me is also considering just maybe not using them. Because I'm considering possibly more control over the hues and values of the illustration to kind of make it look uh more like closer to resemblance to traditional painting. So we'll see, we'll see. I probably will use it, but um still like thinking about the different ways I can render this piece. uh, Adam Blue 7799. Hi, new sub here. I don't really comment or chat on the internet, but I have to say it out loud. Your art is amazing, brother. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you uh, sending that comment over. Always appreciate the kind words. Thank you. And thank you for supporting the channel and my work. It's always cool to talk to the people who follow my work. saw that you participate in art events where people can view prints of your work in the USA. Are you ever coming to the Netherlands? I do not have any plans for the Netherlands. Um, uh, as it would be rather pricey to travel outside of the US for events like that. Um, but I would like to visit the Netherlands at some point. It would be kind of cool to go over there. I visited it wasn't art related, but I remember visiting the uh it was Stockholm. I was in Stockholm, Sweden. So traveling outside of the US is something I've done before, but it wasn't for anything art related. It was just, just for leisure or to go visit family. Uh, but in terms of traveling for art outside of the country, it's not on the table yet. Um, but never say never. Like it's not a complete hard no. But at the moment, not at this time. Have you watched the new Avatar movie? I have not. I would like to very soon. Um, I'm genuinely still upset that they didn't release it as a film in theaters because I definitely would have watched it by now if it was in theaters. Like I feel like a movie like that should be in theaters, and you know how they like to. I don't know. I know it feels like America has this weird fixation on making sure like animated features don't do well. I don't know, bro. It At this point it feels like it's intentional now. Like like they don't want animated features to succeed. 2D animated features or I don't know. But very soon I would like to watch that film. I know it's available now on Paramount. I currently do not pay for Paramount. Um and I know there's other ways to watch it, but I don't know. Knowing what happened to that movie, it just wouldn't feel comfortable to do it that way. So we'll see. Um, Missed opportunity theory might have some weight to it. um, Looking forward to that chance. Just know that you have someone waiting. Nice, nice. It's kind of cool. That's the cool thing about the internet, right? Like you can connect with people from literally all over the planet. People who have similar interests, people who find your work, interesting. It's like, oh yeah, I'm from here, here, and here, and it's like, whoa, now I know somebody from this location. Ever since that cop movie Disney made, I feel like they hate 2D animation. Yeah, I don't know. 2D's had this weird it's had this weird progression in American entertainment. Um, but Disney, but Demon Slayer made money, so it's proven. Yeah, like there's clearly an audience for it. There's clearly a demand for 2D animation. So it's like it's just bizarre to see companies like move that way to where it almost feels like straight up sabotage for their own projects. So it's just like I don't know. There's people who do want to see this stuff, but alas. Ever thought about making your own comic? Yeah. Um, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a comic book artist. I used to make my own little cute, little folded comic books and then try to staple them in the center. um, and even now, I have a collection of characters that I've been working on and developing, and then writing like scenarios for them. There's a short film that I've storyboarded and even did some animated shots for. Um, so if I ever finish that short film, that would be like the first introduction to those characters. But I am um, thinking about course correcting and doing, instead of like one giant short film first, maybe some small animated shorts for people to get familiar with the characters first, and then work on a short film. Um, and heck, maybe even those shorts could help fund it a little bit more down the line. We'll see. Uh, we'll see. Is this is this like felt material? Let me see. No, it's not. Okay. Did the Rise of the TMNT get a theatrical release? The one where it looks like anime? Um, I don't remember. Um, that's a good question. I know the 3D one, the 3D TMNT that dropped a few years back got a theatrical release. That was a pretty good film. Um, but I don't know if the animated one, like the 2D animated one, did. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. Um, it was distributed by Netflix. Okay, so it wasn't a theatrical release; it was on Netflix. What was the name of the one that just dropped? Was that Mutant Mayhem? Was that what it's called? Yeah, Mutant Mayhem, which came out a year after. America Hates 2D, which is, well, since that's what put them on the map. Yeah, a lot of, I mean, literally, look at the body of work that is Disney, like Walt Disney. All of that's 2D, and yeah, it's because of the time that it came out. 3D animation wasn't a thing back then, or at least it just the technology for it wasn't there yet. So that makes sense. But I don't know. The excuse they had was 3D animation was more cost effective. Um, And now I'm not in the industry, so I can't provide any concrete answers onto whether or not that's true. But I don't know. I feel like now there's more than one way to do 2D work, and I feel like 3D work is very complicated. Like I don't know. I have a hard time believing that's like cost effective because there's ways to make 3D very expensive. But I don't know. Uh, it's just weird. It's just weird. There's this weird mentality America has with animation. Um, that's like Marvel hating corny jokes. Um, Puss in Boots is the Last Wish 3D animated movie I actually liked. Oh, and Spider Verse, of course. Intergalactic was decent. Yeah, it's Spider Verse kind of pushed forward that concept of mixing 2D and 3D animation together to create a new look, and it's really cool to see a movie do that. Like a one movie was basically kind of woke up the animated like movie industry like, oh whoa, we can do that, we can try new art styles. um and I'm not saying Spider-Verse was the one that made everybody like change to that style, but it definitely helped like it was kind of like proof of concept in terms of, oh, this is a successful artistic approach to make. um so you definitely saw more of that after Spider-Verse for sure. Arcane was also really instrumental. Yeah, Arcane too. Arcane's art style, you literally can see all the handcrafted 2D elements on the 3D models. Like it literally looks like the Riot uh backgrounds like brought to life. The Riot games like splashes and whatnot. The drop frames will be added to it. uh, I really like Blender, so I've really done some tests with that type of style. Blender is a really good software. I've been messing around with it on and off throughout like such a huge part of my life. Like I remember picking it up when I was like younger. I think maybe I was like 12, 13. Definitely had no idea what I was doing. But fortunately, the Blender community is just chock full of tutorials and assistance. It's pretty awesome how strong that community is. Um, yeah, it's just overall a really good software. And each year they're working on it, they're improving it, they're making it better. And I remember the biggest issue for that software was always like it's not intuitive. It's difficult to learn. Learning curve is very high. Um, and I think they've been trying to make it easier with each update to get people to get onto the software. So it's cool. It's cool seeing a software like that constantly improve and be free. It's insane that it's still free, and I hope it's that way for the unforeseeable future. But it's just cool. It's cool to know that a software that good is still free. Um, Maybe I'll try and get the Aziz style in 3D. There was one time I drew a piece and then made a lenticular print, sort of. It was it was like the intent was to make it lenticular, but I never went through the production process of making it a lenticular print. But the source code is there basically. Like the groundwork needed to make it lenticular print is already present. Um, Let me see if I can look it up. Video art. What is this one? Okay, if I browse for it through here, I should be able to find it. Um, Lunch break is over, so I'm gonna join up later if you're on. All right, man. Appreciate you stopping by during the break. Is it this one? I can't remember if it was this. Okay, yeah, it is. Um, I made a I made this drawing, so I drew all of the layers on Clip Studio Paint. Then I went into Blender and basically made these like pseudo 3D shapes. Like I basically curved the illustration, but mapped the 2D layers onto the shape of the 3D forms, and or like the UV maps of the 3D forms, and went into Blender and just rotated the camera and created that effect. So it was pretty cool, like figuring out how to do that. Um, I think in the first Spider Verse movie, Miles had lower frame rate than the other Spider people due to his lack of experience, and by the end of the movie, his frame rate was the same as the rest of them. Yes, like that's such a cool detail that they added to that film, and it's like it displays like this. It displays a high understanding of the material you're working with as an artist, like to maximize the medium to its fullest. You know, storytelling through like visual means like that. Like that's something you can't really do with live action, but you can do with animation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain medias are more open to certain forms of storytelling, certain forms of presentation that others do not have. And so that's why it's kind of sad to see like um that's why it's sad to see like so many companies kind of just put 2D animation to the wayside when it's like there's some potential here. There's ways you can use this medium that haven't really been explored yet. Um, all right, Luffy. Till next time. Let me see. Oh yeah, I remember when I read the news that Warner Bros. Denied a Batman Beyond movie similar to Spider Verse in animation. Yeah, Yeah, that would have been cool. Hmm. That is crazy. Insane behavior. Our teammate, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing well. Uh, Making steady progress on this illustration. Meh. Yeah, Facebook is the worst spot to try and message me. What are some good courses you know for absolute beginners who want to get into art? Unfortunately, I do not know any off the top of my head. Um, there's most of the ways I learned how to draw are from just trial and error, or just a conglomerate of random YouTube videos throughout decades of my life. But I feel like probably looking you're probably better off looking it up before I can give you an answer. I'm not gonna lie. Internet and failure, yeah. Rob Liefeld. the, the I mean, T'Challa got most times out of 10 he has the heart-shaped herb flowing through his body. So he's not a normal individual at this point. He's essentially superhuman. Um I don't know. It's weird. Um I haven't read all of Absolute Batman, but I will say that man's will and determination is impressive. He's willing to do a lot to get his goals met. He's willing to put his body through some stuff to succeed. Um, Last time you said you won't make a course, so share some alternatives. Yeah, it's I'm quite literally like just the try again artist, where it's just I just keep doing something until it until it looks right. Um, what was the hardest thing for you to learn when you were starting out? The hardest thing to learn. Um, see, okay. It's gonna sound like I'm avoiding these questions, but quite literally, drawing has been a part of me for like as long as I can remember. So a lot of the things I learned starting out, I never really thought of as difficult because there wasn't a goal in mind. I was just drawing because it was fun. I was drawing because I wanted to just to like spend time doing it. So as a kid, I can't really tell you exactly what was the hardest thing ever, but if I were to think about things that were challenging, probably like illustrating uh I don't know, I feel like probably maybe backgrounds might be a bit difficult. Like you don't really try to do backgrounds when you're a kid. But I remember trying to do those, like trying to do cityscapes and things like that. It was always like, oh man, I gotta draw all these buildings. Or oh, I gotta draw this landscape. So drawing landscapes and trying to make them cohesive with the piece was sometimes you know, difficult within the realm of the goal I had in mind when I was younger. Um, also, what else was difficult back then, and maybe still difficult now? Uh, I guess coming up with like dynamic posing might have been problematic when I was younger. Like I still trying to figure out how to like make a character look interesting. Um, and a lot of these things start to get solved once you become more familiar with human anatomy. Um, like I know for a while like uh, certain parts of the human body were like more challenging than others. Like drawing feet is kind of weird. I'm not a foot person, so you know, um, that was so I don't like you feel me like I because I'm not a foot person, I'm not looking at feet like that, so I don't have a strong memory of how feet look compared to like hands because I use hands all the time in my competition. So it's like, okay, I know what a hand looks like, but for a foot, I might have to look at references a little bit more often. Um, so it's like those things are difficult because I don't do them often, and once you do put in the reps, they become easier. Obviously, much like anything else in life. Um, what's another difficult thing? Bro, I remember I felt like I used to mess up all of my drawings because I didn't have the right tools in terms of coloring. Like I would see artists when I was a kid like shade with a marker and I'm like, my markers don't do that. Why can't my markers shade? And I would try to color. I would try to like try to put the lightest amount of pressure on the marker and it would just be this nasty blot. And I'm like, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? This is before I found out about the truth, and the truth is those markers are expensive and they're called Copics. um, there's other marker brands that do that, obviously, but Copics are like the most popular ones. So once I found out the truth and bought my own set of Copics in college, everything made sense. I said, wow, this is what I've been missing out on. I understand it now. Yeah. Oh, I'm probably not buying that game, but oh, is it on the Game Pass? Okay. If it's on the Game Pass, I'm more receptive to playing that game for sure. Um, uh, I'm definitely I was barely decent back then. I'm definitely washed now, but you know what I'm saying. Still willing to play. Is it already out? Hmm. Oh, like literally today? That's crazy. Hmm. If you can hear me. Thanks for sharing your experience. No problem. Oh, obviously, since you're in the VC Miles, I have to tell you by force my current update with this tokusatsu known as Kamen Rider. Um, we are now on Forse. We we are we it's space time, you know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm gonna make friends with everyone in that high school. uh, I did see that that season has a Sentai crossover movie, which is gonna be dope. Um, so looking forward to that. Uh, what episode am I on? I think I'm on episode 24. Yeah, I'm on episode 24 of this season, which is episode 1043 in Kamen Rider. I have officially gone past 1,000 episodes. Uh, they even had 1,000 episode special when I was watching O's. Um, like they knew it was their 1,000th episode, so they like made a whole thing about it. Happy birthday! Man was either yelling or about to yell. There was no in between. I think after this one is what's after this season? Is it Wizard that's after this? I think like Wizard, then um literally the only thing I know about Wizard is that scene with the washing machine. And I heard that's not even in the main series, it's like a special. um mhm. Okay, so Wizard is next up. And then I think Gaim's after that. Gaim looks kinda cool. I'm not gonna lie. Hmm. His suit design is kinda cool. I like it. Freaking Meteor in this season is funny because he's like 70s martial arts film theme. So he's got all the Bruce Lee screams and the freaking disco music playing when he transforms. Oh, for my Right, that was the freaking was that Gav that clip where the dude where like they were like when my when someone decides to talk crazy to my friend and then he's like you just see him elevate the mo- the most elegant the most elegant drop kick I've ever seen, bro. He gathers so much air, bro. There's like 4 feet it feels like underneath him when he jumps in the air for that drop kick. Oh my goodness. Hmm. All right, looks like I'm done doing the line art for the Rhino Ranger. That did not take long. Um, let's go to RJ. Oh wait, first let me fill in the flats for the Rhino Ranger. But yeah, I got about 700 more episodes left of Kamen Rider before I catch up. Um, yeah, the goal was to try and get it done before the year was over, but there's been too many days where I only watched one episode, so it's like, okay, it's probably not gonna happen anymore. But probably sometime early next year I'll have it all finished up. Um, and since I was watching Zets during this whole time, I don't have to worry about catching back up to that. But I mean, I probably will rewatch it anyway, just because the plot is a bit convoluted, so it's like probably a good idea for me to just go back and kind of refresh on the story, and maybe I'll get a better perspective on it if I watch the episodes all at once. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Like I understand the majority of the story. Like I understand the gist of it. Like okay, this, and this. Um, but maybe there's some things I'll catch, or it'll be easier to kind of interpret what they're trying to go for in the beginning. Yeah. It's like, all right, is this the real world? No, this is the real world. So wait, why did that happen? Turns out it's not the real world. It was an illusion of the real world. Oh, my fault. It's like, okay, well. And then somebody dies and you're like, okay, that's in the dream, so it's not real right now. They're dead. Huh? What? Freak. No, that was gnarly. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is like endgame stuff going on right now. What's happening? And then sure enough. That one nightmare pulled up to him. He said, you're in my way. And got rid of him quick. Made quick work of that nightmare. I said, oh, he really on New Game Plus. Let's make a new layer for RJ. RJ layer folder. I saw that Clip Studio Paint has updated its software once again. Um, they added some new stuff in there. Uh, no, nothing super duper crazy, but some of the updates seem pretty useful. Like they have the lab color selection now. Like you know how they have RGB, HSL, um, what's the other one? HSV. Like they have all of these like options for selecting color. Now they have LAB. So it's like I heard that Photoshop is like the only other drawing software that has LAB. Um, so now Clip Studio Paint has it. So it's like it's just like one extra reason to just not go to Photoshop. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's um yeah. Hmm. Yeah, quote unquote industry standard. But yeah, no, it's like it's cool seeing that they're constantly trying to update it. It does suck that the only way I can get those updates is I have to like upgrade several times over because I'm still on my computer. I'm still on 2.0 or 2 point something, but right now they're on 5. Um, my iPad is not even fully updated to the current one. It's still stuck on 3. iPad I can always upgrade it because it's like I'm already on the subscription model for the iPad, but the desktop version was only a single pay license, and that's why I haven't upgraded. I don't feel like paying for it consistently. And I mean, while the updates are good, the updates aren't powerful enough for me to go, no, I need this. I need to go to the next one now. Like a lot of the stuff that I have on this version of the update serves my purposes. Um, so it's never in. I never felt the need to upgrade just yet. this vector? Oh yeah, this is vector line. Bro, you know I didn't notice. I feel so dumb. When I was watching Zets, when Sieg pulled up, in my head I was like, is this a previous writer? But I didn't think much of it. And then I'm watching Blade, and I see Garen Tachibana, and I'm like, okay, it still didn't connect. It still didn't hit because in Blade he don't smile much. Like Sieg is smiling basically all the time. Like there's barely ever a shot where Sieg isn't smiling or laughing. But in Blade, he's like constantly not smiling. He always looks sad or depressed or serious. So I never made the connection. And then here I am watching Forza, and I'm like, wait, that's Ganon. Wait, he looks familiar. And I find out it's Sieg. Because, like, Blade comes out in 2004, Zets comes out in 2025. So there's a 20 plus age, like, difference. Like, he's aged 20 years. But Forza is, like, kind of in the halfway point. So I'm seeing the progression of him aging, and that's when my brain makes the connection. Like, oh wait, because in Forza he looks more like Sieg than he does Tachibana because he's older. And I was like, oh, and he's smiling. He's smiling more often in Forza. So I'm like, oh, that's him. That's the same actor the entire time. I didn't. I feel so dumb. How did I not notice this before? Oh, okay, okay. There was one actress I saw very recently in Forza. She was the teacher who likes kickboxing. Um, I recognized her from Double because she was like the magician like assistant. Um, like she had like there was this one case where she kept disappearing, like she would always become like, invisible, and I found out she also played the Blue Hurricaneer um in that season, and I was like, oh, okay, so she's a former Power Ranger, a former Super Sentai character. That explains why she's so good at kicking people. um, I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to see like those actors bounce between different shows and whatnot within Toei. Um, it was Otoya, right? The one who played Otoya. Yeah. How far is Build from where I'm at? Let me see. Because that's still in the second phase of Heisei. Decade Devil, Force, Wizard, Gaim, Drive, Ghost, Xaid, Build. Okay, so I got a couple of shows to go through first before I get to Build. Oh, it's the second to last series in the Heisei era. Yeah, because Zio's after that. Ghost, Drive, Gaim. Okay, okay. Gotcha, Gabs, that's my persona. Perhaps one of these days when I graduate from licensed franchise gamer, I'll play those games. I'm like one step I'm like the one step above ball and gun gamer. I'm a franchise gamer. I I like to play games that are licensed franchises, whether it be superheroes. The numbers games are gross. I know how much time they take from you. I mean, all games take a lot of time from you, but there's some games where I'm like, nah, bro, that's a time drainer. That's too much. I can't. I feel like for me, there was a time I could have played those games when I was younger and I had more free time, and then now that I'm older, it's like, okay, if I'm gonna play this game, that means I have to dedicate a day to this thing. Like I have to dedicate days to this game to get an effective, you know, session of gaming from it. Otherwise, I won't feel satisfied. Actually, I don't even remember the last time I turned on a video game anymore. I know it was sometime earlier this year. Yeah. Yeah. All right, like frig, dude. Like that's like one of the reasons as to why I haven't picked up RPG games like that. It's just literally because they're an investment of time. Are you ready? Hmm. That's terrifying, bro. That is terrifying. Welcome. Jeez, bro. Hmm. I'm Spider-Man. Vanish. Almost threw up. What'd you eat? Oh, whoa. Whoa, buddy. 400 gigs? Oh my goodness. At this point, they should just maintain physical releases of games, but the physical release is just an SSD. Like the game, like literally, you have the case and you open it and it's an SSD. Like it should be like pre-installed with the game in there. Yeah, bro. Mm-hmm. That's what needs to happen now. This might actually be reality. Yeah. Speaking of, how much is combat or campaign involved? 50 gigs? Um, or $50. How ca- camp campaign involves 100 gigs? 100 gigs? What did they do? Oh my goodness, bro. Why is that 100? Why is it 100? Oh my goodness. Game over. Um, that company lost a lot of trust from me with just how they handled, you know, a regular Halo game. Infinite. Um, Normal in the sense that like they're not going specifically for normal in the sense they're not going for specific like um honestly just gimmick in terms of the current trend of games. Like they weren't trying to go for a battle royale, they weren't trying to go for any extraction shooters for Halo. I mean, mm, I don't understand how they even thought it. Like the fact that they even thought of that as a business venture with how slow they were trickling content was that was embarrassing. That was unacceptable. I do not know what that I don't know what they were thinking with that armor core. What were they thinking with that armor core? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Get some reps. Also, this is not a McDonald's.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. Did you eat?
Some fish pie.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Delta cancer or flash surgery of the leg.
Is it weather?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Heal and you do.
Oh wow. What the? Hmm. 100 gigs is the mocap. Don't do it. I was preemptively preventing something wild being said. And there it is. Oh. Frick. Yeah. Uh, uh. Oh. Oh. No, bro. No, bro. No, bro. No, bro. As wild as what that sentence sounded like, he's 100% correct. It was ridiculous. He- It, yeah, bro. It's as accurate as it can be, bro. Yeah, maybe I would have had more options. Oh. So wait, that's not a cam rip? Hold on. Jeez. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know you could post that length. Oh. That is funny. Hmm. Over with. That brother's finished. He's over. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It wasn't with my hands, but it was with my dad, bro. I was driving and it started pouring crazy to the point where like I knew I had no option but to lock in. I had to make sure every decision I made from this point forward involved us getting back home safely. Jeez. You know, that was terrifying. And that was like some of the earlier years when I started driving. So like I think I just had gotten my license, or it was either my license or my permit. So I was like, that was so scary, bro. Hmm. Okay, who is this? This is RJ from Jungle Fury. That is incredible. Thank you. Go Power Aziz. What's up, Beagle Bean? Welcome to the stream. This joint heavy. Death Waffle. The unfortunate association of being the son of a man that might be considered the best NBA player ever. So, um, uh-oh. Huh? Hmm. Why? Hmm. Hey man, both of them, both of them made by Toei, so hmm, hmm. Vintage Toei, vintage Toei. Hmm. All right. We were able to successfully do the line art for both Rhino and RJ for this session. So I think I will end the stream here. It's a short stream, nothing too crazy, but we were at least able to get something done here. Some productiveness was made for the stream. Um, so hopefully we'll be able to stream again tomorrow. And I think for the next stream I will most likely do some work for these spirit rangers that are in the distance. I'll do some lineup for those. And then that'll also be when I start doing some flats for the rangers. We're gonna do some coloring and playing out the landscape as well. So to anyone who's here to watch this process, thank you. Thank you guys for stopping by during this live stream. I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Until then, take care, everyone. Farewell. Bye-bye. 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 This thing is definitely in front of me.